And in today's video, I'm going to show you how to use triads as a framework for improvising over a minor blues progression. So check this out. I have a little loop here that I created on my Boss RC5 loop station, and give a little example of what we're going to do. Here it is. All right, that's the example. If you're enjoying this video so far, hit that like button, ring the bell for notification, subscribe to the channel. This is gonna be really cool. Trying to keep this really simple within the minor pentatonic framework here. Kind of pointing out certain triads here. So if you look at the A, well, first of all, the progression is just an A minor to a D minor to an A minor. D minor. Back to A minor. E minor. D minor, A minor, D minor, A minor, E7, back to A minor, right there. So we could focus on, I'm not even thinking of scales or pentatonic scales or anything like that. I'm really thinking of just the triads, minor triads over here over the three chords. And then there's going to be another, the last turnaround will be a major on the 5 chord, but we'll get to that in a second. If you look at this shape right here, over the 1 chord, the A minor, you can see my fingers here. It's this shape right here, like this E shape, A, E minor shape A, like this. Starting on the root, the 3rd and the 5th. You could always hit those notes, target those notes. Or also right up here in this string set, the top 3 strings. So you can start off with one of those chord tones. And then when it goes to a fast 4, what the fast 4 means is it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 2. So on the second bar, really I'm hitting the D minor. So right there, keeping it in the same area, I'm going to this D triad, D minor triad. Back to A minor. So the first chord, A minor to D minor. Triad right there. Back to the A minor triad. And you could utilize the pentatonic scale as well. Or an arpeggio, which is the root, the 7th, 5th, 3rd. Really the only difference between the arpeggio and the minor pentatonic is that there's one more note in the minor pentatonic, which is this note right here. The 4th degree. Right there. Or you have, without the 4th is the arpeggio, or just the triad. It's just the 3 notes to the 4 chord. To this, to the C over the 4 chord, which is the 7th, bending up to the D, that brings you into another shape right here. This another triad. This second inversion, starting on the fifth ring. Winding up on the E, on the 5 chord, E minor. The same as the D minor triad. You have an E minor triad. D minor triad. Back to the A. D minor triad. A minor. And here's major. So you have that 5 chord, which is a major, to the minor, to the A minor. Or you could play E7 right there. Or you can go like this. Sharp to 5. Because that sharp 5 is the minor third of the A. Even the lowest part, these triads right here, check this out. Trying to focus on the triads here of each one of these chords in the blues. On the A minor, you take these three, this triad set right here. You got the A, you got the fifth, and the third right here. This would be a first inversion, because you have the third on the bottom here. Second inversion right here. And the root version right there. And then while I'm up here, I can think of, well, where's the D minor triad, the closest one? There's one right there. Because it's D minor triad right there, and then A. There's the E minor right there, it's right here. Back to the D minor here. A minor triad. D. Then again E major triad too. Like that. Let's try that. Take another pass to this. This is really, really cool tip. I'm not even thinking of the A minor pentatonic scale at all. Not for a second am I thinking of this scale. And I probably should be. Now check this out. I mean, there's arpeggios, there's triads, and you have the scale. You know, we're playing triads here, but really they're like arpeggios too. The only difference is the triad is a chord like that. It's triad, 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 triad. And arpeggios is when you play the chords broken up, like, or adding the 7th degree, like that, because you're playing really an A minor 7 chord here. Over the D chord, same thing. Arpeggio. When I say arpeggios, I'm not talking about like ripping out like Yngwie arpeggios, you know, just kind of, which is that. That's not like an Yngwie arpeggio. I just mean really arpeggios to focus on the chord tones. Triad's just the main notes of the chord. Yep, pretty much. Because you have the A minor chord like this. And the triad is just the root, the 3rd, and the 5th. And that's it. So this chord, this A minor chord, is just the root, 3rd, 5th, and the octave again. So the triad is just the basic main part of the chord, the body of the chord here. And the arpeggio would be if I break them up into, if I play them consecutively, the notes, instead of all at the same time here. Plus I could play the 7th degree in the arpeggio. Keeping it really simple, using just using the triads as a framework, you could see where all the chord tones are here. If I go up to here, same thing up here, different versions of the A minor. You have it right here, you have it here, you have it here, A minor here, you have it here, you have it here. So no matter where you are, now you can think of the D, when it goes to the 4 chord, you think of the D triad, and where's the closest D triad to here? Right there. Like, so no matter what inversion you're at, if you're up here on this A minor, there's the D minor triad right there. So no matter where you are, here's the 4 chord right next to it. And think of semitones. Is really, really good thing to do too. Think of how close, like between the 1 chord and the 4 chord, like where are the semitones there? Like right there. Like the semitone is just a half step. So between the A minor and the 4 chord goes to the D. A minor, a half step to this note, the 5th degree of A minor, going up a half step, is the 3rd of the D minor. And then back down to the 1 chord. Now where's another half step to the 5 chord? Right there. So I'm going down now from this A minor, from the 3rd degree, to right here. That's the 5th of the 5 chord. You can play that note. It's the 7th. D minor. And finally, on the 5 chord, you can play the E major, and then 1. But one thing you have to remember too is that the scale, the main scale, is going to be an A minor scale. And that's like... over the whole thing. So check this out. You have the A minor scale. Minor scale. Except for that very end, when it goes to that 5 chord, you could take the A minor scale and just make it a harmonic minor scale. And all you're doing is just taking the, here's A minor. You take the 7th degree and you raise it up a half step. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, octave. Harmonic minor, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So here's the first one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Harmonic minor is. So I just took this G and I went up to G sharp. And what that does is it makes the 5 chord, the E, major. When you go to the A, has a nice resolution. The most important thing right here is, you know the framework. It's making it sound good, right? So, just vibrato. Just shaking a little bit. Bending up to it. Make sure you hit the right pitch. Get a good grip on there. The minor pentatonic scale too over each one of these chords. Check this out. Closer up. In your favorite positions right there. 4 chord D, D minor. A minor pentatonic. E. D. A. D, A, E. Right? I know I'm just kind of whizzing by there, but really, the thing you have to remember though about that is that the one trick here is that if you wanted to play in between these pentatonic notes, like this, here's pentatonic, and the D, the E, I mean, that all works because it's just the pentatonic's 5 notes. But if you were to play the scale through that, the 3 would be different. Because we're all in the key of A minor here. The A minor scale would work over this. But over the D, you couldn't play that pattern. It would be different. It would be like this. It would be the Dorian scale, actually. Over the E, it would be a Phrygian scale. You could play the E pentatonic, but if you were to play any notes around it, you have to remember that you're playing the A minor scale within this shape. So if you're playing in E minor pentatonic, you have to remember that you're still going to play the A minor scale, which is here. Right? So in order to make that E work, you're really playing the A minor scale, but you're emphasizing E. So that's really an E Phrygian. I know, you know, a lot of people don't like to talk about modes really and what it is, but it's good to, in the back of your head, to go, you know what? I'm playing an A minor scale, but I know this pattern of E Phrygian. You know, E Phrygian. And over that 5 chord, when it gets major, you're taking the E Phrygian and just making it major. And that's all that makes the Phrygian dominant. You're just raising the third. Otherwise, it's just a minor. That's what it is over the 5 chord anyway. Mention my guitar course, Essential Skills Collection for Guitar. Now check this out. There's a link in the description for this. I go over 4 important topics here. Fretboard memorization, where we could easily identify where all the notes are on the neck. I go through the circle of fifths, where you're essentially playing in every different key, which is really great. Blues soloing, like what we're doing right now. And then I work on the cage system. We talk about the cage system and study that. So check that out. There's a link in the description for that. I would appreciate that. Lots of good stuff inside there. Thank you guys so much for watching. Very, 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 very cool of you. I love you so very much. You have no idea how much I love you. So remember, be cool, be kind, be cherry, keep playing, keep those guitars warm for sure. Keep those fingers flowing. And if you want to see another video on mapping the minor triads within each pentatonic position all over the fretboard, which is a really great one, I'll put that one right up there for you to see. Love yous, and I'll catch you in the next one. Have a great week, and I'll catch you soon. Peace.